Hold on, let me take a sip.
We made it.
Made it.
Week. Wednesday was your fault.
Wednesday was totally my fault.
I was like, Tori, where are you? I'm in the woods.
I totally forgot.
I love that though.
Forgot. I like literally have no other excuse. Well, it was outside of our normal scheduling time, and I was like, yeah, that'll work for me. And then me at 4:30 was like, I'm totally gonna go walk the dog right now.
Good. You need to though. I feel like when we get a spot of sun around here, and it's been so slim, where everyone's mental health is like on an all-time low at this point.
Yes.
And we're ready to just crack. If you get a moment to be outside, go.
Yes.
Ditch all of the things and be in the woods. Go.
Yes, that is 1000% what happened.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad one of us got to.
And my allergies are bothering me way less. So I'm not going to like jinx it, but I've had less sniffling and less coughing.
Good.
So it encouraged me to be out in the woods more. So I don't know. I've got to figure out, according to like what's pollinating highly, according to like when my symptoms are the worst. I'm trying to figure out what does it for me. I think like grass. And I mean, like, doesn't grass like pollinate at like certain
everything's
points?
just yellow right now. The Cape has this like whole month of just everything blooms at once, and it's awful.
It's not.
It doesn't matter if you're not allergic or you are. You're still getting it.
Yeah. Or like your car's at least dyed yellow for 3 days.
Yep.
We haven't quite. Have you gotten to that in Mashpee? Because we haven't quite gotten to that in Yarmouth yet.
We're getting there. It's like everything is super yellow. When so we have J1s, right? And the girls are from Jamaica, and they're like, "Is it always this color?" And I'm like, "No, that's pollen."
Like, no, it's not actually. Give it a couple weeks.
No, and it's not dead and brown. It turns yellow. We'll eventually get the green. It's coming.
What we've been dealing with is everything's pink. All the cherry trees are shedding.
Oh, yeah, pretty.
In the wind. Sure, but it looks like ice cream. Like, it's like the only way I can describe it. Like Dippin' Dots that melted.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
And like the trees themselves are so beautiful, but I'm a little bit like, okay, these little pink things that like stick to everything.
Yeah, it's like nature's confetti. It's kind of pretty. We'll take it.
Better than the yellow. It's better than the yellow.
Yes, I agree. I will take pink all day, every day. Today's a huge day. My daughter's 18.
Oh my God, today.
And it's her last day of school.
Crazy.
Oh my God. I know. So I'm like in my nostalgia moment where she came home yesterday with a cap and gown and like it like
you like immediate, yeah.
Oh yeah. I was like, I'm okay.
Was she like, Mom, what the fuck? Keep it together.
No, I didn't do it around her.
Oh.
I'm not giving her evidence. That shows weakness, Tori, and I'm not doing it.
It's true.
I can't do it. So yeah, we've got all the things this weekend, prom and
I had a funny moment. You know, Time Hop on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
So,
the most embarrassing of moments.
Yeah, apparently I was super into statuses my senior year this time of year. I was like narrating everything I was doing. Which like really embarrassing, but also like now I'm like, oh, that's funny. I thought I was cool. But I was sitting on the couch earlier this week at Boyfriend's, and we went to high school together, but like didn't really interact at all.
Yeah.
So I had this time hop, and I was like, honey, 14 years ago today was our senior prom. And he was like, I don't remember you. And I was like, cool, I don't remember you either. And that was like the end of the conversation.
Did you go to the prom with your dad or something?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
100%. Yeah. He had, he always had some girlfriend. He was popular. He was a jock. We were in two different social circles. I think he was even prom king at one point, one of our years.
Hysterical.
Which is really funny now, knowing me. Like, I would be the girl to not date the prom king then, but date the prom king 10 years later. Like, that is so on brand for me.
Can you just get that out of your system so that we can just be together?
Yeah. So it's been fun to talk about a little bit about that. Like, oh my God, do you remember graduating? But I was such a weirdo. Like, his and I's experiences were so polar.
Yeah.
So it's been funny to talk about. It's that time of year. Everybody talks about it and it gets exciting. You get excited for other people. You reminisce and whatever it is. So
thank God we found a seamstress last minute. My next door neighbor.
Oh, I have to ask you too, where you bought that dress. I have a literal ball in the fall that I need a dress for.
Yes. This is the place for you to go.
Okay,
You will be
perfect.
waited on by like 47 people. You will be ushered dress and looks and oh, you'll love
Amazing.
it. Oh
Okay,
yeah.
but my price tag is going to be significantly less than what you paid
Yeah.
for
I
that.
hope so. I hope so.
Found a seamstress. They're taking it, they're fixing it just a little.
Fixed already. It's done. She charged her $20. I'm like, thank you. Thank you. Cause I was already panicking. I'm like, Lily,
Yeah.
seriously, I cannot deal with this dress. I can't. Oh,
How is she accessorizing? I feel like I need, like, pictures and
oh, you'll get I'm sure you will. Yesterday with the nails, everything's like super stiletto, shiny. I'm like, "Oh my god, please don't break any of those today. I don't need a friggin' nail
she
drama
will.
from
She
today
100%
until
will.
tomorrow."
It'll be,
Of
like,
course you will.
it'll be tomorrow morning, and she'll be
Yep.
like, "Oh,
Mhm. Get out the super glue because I have no time for this shit.
no." That's
And of
funny.
course, I'm working all day. I'm like, "Can you drop by the bar so dad and I can get a photo of you?" I feel horrible. We're working, by the way. We're not drinking.
No, yes.
We're
That's
working.
funny.
It's a actually service dog fundraiser. So
Oh,
I know. And it's like one of the oldest service dogs places in the United States. And they also get rescue dogs and retrain them to be service animals as
oh my
well.
god, I love
So
that.
I know. I love this organization. They're really awesome. It just so happens to be like during getting ready to go out the door prom time. Don't worry, we're doing after prom
Ah,
festivities, so I'll see plenty of them in their whatever debauched state later on in that evening.
I'm sure. It'll be fun, though.
Yeah, totally. All right, let's get into what's roasting, shall we, miss?
Let's get into it. So, starting off with the obvious Taylor Swift news, just an update on what's going on. Just a funny thing. So, the NFL had to respond to the conspiracy theory that they scheduled all their games around Taylor Swift. And I just love the fact that, like, this is a thing in current pop culture. Like, the mother of the girlies and the NFL somehow are in cahoots, and the NFL has to respond and say, no, no, I promise we didn't plan the Chiefs against the Bills at the Bills conveniently right after you had 3 shows in Toronto. I swear I didn't do that, even though all of us Taylor Swifties are like, yeah, you did.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Why
Yeah, you
though? I
did.
mean, she brought to them a audience
Right.
of magnanimous proportion, like something that they thought they never knew or needed, and then they got it and they were like, this is a lot.
Yes. And what I always say is they were able to capture the money spending client. Now, mind you, and I mean like small purchases. So the guys who will come in, they go to these football games and rain or shine, whatever it is, and they buy the beer and they buy maybe a jersey and they wear that jersey for 10 years to the same games that they go, they buy the season tickets, whatever. But you unlocked a whole money making demographic of women who are more likely to make your small purchases, which have the highest margins
Right.
and drive dollars over time. So they're buying other jerseys because they want to wear multiple different outfits. They want all the snacks. They want all the merch. They're buying the stuff for their homes.
Right.
And it
Right.
seems to be like that demographic, this like Gen, millennial, maybe later Gen Z, millennial, Gen X demographic, like women of their homes are like the complete driving forces in spending economy. So I think it's so funny that the NFL is clearly capitalizing on that and
Of
driving
course they
that,
are.
but then is like, no, we're not. We're the NFL. I almost think it'd be funnier. That was like, you like that, right? We did that for the Swifties. Like that would have been funnier
Right.
to me. Like you can acknowledge it a little at this point, but they won't, you
I
know?
know. No, they totally won't. They're above that. So Monday, what was the situation with Ryan Reynolds? Because I think
Oh,
it's just really funny since we're hanging out in Taylor Swift land.
yes. So Taylor Swift has dropped Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' kids' names in previous albums. She's actually
Uh-huh.
put all of their kids, but since then they've had a baby. So I guess on the Today Show, they asked Ryan Reynolds, has Taylor put your fourth baby's name in her album? And Ryan Reynolds basically came out and said, we really just wait for Taylor to tell us what the baby's name is.
Which is cute, but obviously, very real.
Yeah, which I just think is funny. It's a funny little like he's so funny. So to see the camaraderie between the two of them, which is such an unlikely pairing, but like also makes sense in the most perfect way.
Yeah.
So to see them kind of, like, acknowledge their very public, but mostly private friendship
Yeah.
in that capacity is
I
funny.
know, they're cute. They're I don't know, like, what do you do when you're a megastar and everybody knows who you are? I mean, they do it gracefully,
Yeah.
and I think it's adorable.
And then the other last Taylor Swift thing I love to note, so she went on in her Paris stage and kind of named this new Tortured Poets catalog era in her concert as, Female Rage the Musical,
Oh, I know, I
and
talked about it this week. I was like, I basically had Female Rage the Musical going on downstairs. It's unfortunate that she trademarked it because I've been living that shit for years.
totally. So that's the story that she trademarked that Female Rage the Musical for, um, musical recordings, video recordings, and then obviously merch, but this also could be for protection because obviously as soon as she said that, all the fans and Swifties created and branded crap with that,
Yeah,
and she really kinda, like, did say it at her concert in regards to her music, so it is probably a protective move, but also, like, all of us are like, "But what else?"
right.
Just curious, are you doing anything else? You never know with her.
No,
Everything
honestly,
everything could be an Easter egg to something else. We have no clue. We don't
yeah,
know.
I'm never surprised, but also I'm not, like, chasing the surprise.
No.
So
You
I'm
can't keep
always
up
like,
with it.
"Oh, okay. That's what it is today. Sounds good."
So, that was your Taylor Swift news.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I don't think anybody's surprised by the Ben and J.Lo conversation. I don't know what his deal is. I don't
She's
know what
having
his
a
problem
rough
is.
go.
Yeah. So apparently he's been reportedly living in a home separate from J.Lo amidst their split rumors. She seemingly is never, I don't know. She seemingly seems to be the type, if I'm looking at it from the outside, a human being that is never happy.
Okay.
It's one of those situations where nothing, no amount of stuff, things, love, people, like it's just not, it's like an empty hole.
I
I don't
think
know what it
sh
is.
I think she's just work.
Mhm.
I think she's just work, and I
Yeah.
think that's her pride and joy, and I think she's got kids, and that takes a huge precedent, but I think there's maybe something in the beginning of her relationships too where she's like, "How do you turn off the facade you put on publicly?
Yeah.
Where in the relationship do you do that?"
I think she loves the idea of the romance.
Yeah.
I think she really is in the moment in love with whatever it is that is going on. But
Yeah.
like as soon as things like get to be work when she already likes work, it's a different kind of work. It's just
Yeah.
different.
I wouldn't be surprised though if she's, like, going through something right now because her album was a complete flop.
I
Like,
don't think she's going through anything. I feel like
well,
she's just that's her personality.
but I wouldn't be surprised if, like, you think your album's gonna be a thing, you've done it for so long, you've put your work into it, then it's a flop, and then you have this husband that's like, "Well, honey, we're 45, and,
Right?
like, maybe we pivot in a different direction, maybe we refocus back at home, maybe we do something," and she's just like, "Nah, you don't get it. I gotta roll." And
Yeah.
he's doing the home thing, and she's doing the work thing, you know? Although there were reports that she was also in LA, they didn't stay together, um, and she did go to the Met Gala without him,
Well,
but
he seemed to be unhinged during the Tom Brady roast. I don't know if you've had a chance
oh,
to watch it.
bits and pieces, but I didn't see that.
He, like, it seems like he's in a full-on psychotic break. I don't know what's
Oh.
going on.
So maybe he's dealing with something and she's like, "I don't know what's going on, but, like, you gotta deal with your shit. I have things to do. I have the Met Gala. I gotta deal with my shitty album. I have residencies to deal with." Like, I have meetings on meetings on meetings, and,
I
like,
have
I
all
don't
these
know what you're
albums to sell that nobody wants.
correct. I don't know what you're dealing with, but, like, go deal with it over there.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know what their deal is, but it's definitely a deal, so much so that it's now become media fodder, and
The
people
last
are just
time
curious.
the last time they were photographed was back in March, and I was reading a little bit though, like, the home he was staying in wasn't a residence of theirs. They just said, like, a residence.
Yeah,
So,
interesting.
yeah, I don't know.
Well, it makes it easy when you don't have property together.
They have a massive estate
I don't know if it's
somewhere.
both. I'm sure it's both of theirs. They're not wanting
Yeah.
for money at any point, I don't
No.
think, but
No. Well, depending on if she can
yeah, how much
do
did
something
she
with this album.
back
Huh.
roll herself?
Yeah, that's true.
It wasn't great, sorry. All right. Ali Wong
I haven't
opening
listened
up.
to a single song. Sorry, just I
No,
have
it's not
no.
good. It was good in the 90s. You had your moments.
Yeah.
Why can't you be like Madonna and just do like stage shows? Which, by the way, did you see the fact that the Brazilian government was blaming Madonna for their floods? They said that she brought like Satanism to like the country. I was like, yeah, Madonna did it with her witchcraft.
Her like
Her,
Tony Brass.
her
That's exactly what
bustiers
it is.
did it. That was it.
I mean, it's not really unfounded.
Satan.
Oh, funny.
All right, so let's talk about Ali Wong. I absolutely love her. I think her comedy is hysterical. She's so,
Yeah.
I don't know, she's just very, very funny. But she opened up about her usually private relationship with Bill Hader.
I loved what she said. She was open about the fact that he contacted her right after their divorce and
Yeah.
was like, "Hey, I've had a crush on you for so long. I heard you just divorced. Will you be my girlfriend?" And she was like, "What?"
Don't you play a serial killer on Showtime?
Yeah. And like, really? That's weird. And so he just continued to pester her is a wrong word, but like then sent flowers to all of our hotels when she was on tour in Europe. Um, and she openly came out and was like, this is what I get. And like this is how cheap and lazy men have become when a fellow man actually commits to any act of kindness or any romantic gesture. It just looks like a symptom of undiagnosed mental illness. And I just find that so relatable. Like, just
Ugh.
I just find that concept so relatable for sure.
Like, what? Oh, what? You really like me or are you crazy?
Right.
Like,
Or like, why are you offering to do that thing for me? It's
that,
totally fine. I could do it on my own.
that's
Like, oh, you're actually
hysterical.
just trying to be nice?
Yeah, but
Why?
right, exactly. What's your motivation?
Yeah.
I need the director's notes on this. I don't trust it.
Yep.
That's our problem. That's us.
Totally.
That's
Totally.
called trauma, Tori.
I'm getting better.
That's what that's called. All right, so back to the roast of Tom Brady since we're in Joke Town, and I didn't have a chance to bring it up when I was talking about Ben Affleck's unhingedness.
Yep.
Speaking of someone who's having a psychotic break. He apologizes, or was he joking that it affected his kids? I don't really feel like that was genuine.
No, I was totally if you listen to the clip, it was on a podcast. He was totally just
Oh,
since when, by the way, and what's the motivation for celebrities to skip normal media outlets and go straight to podcasts? Because they could say whatever they want?
yeah. Yeah, because you're in charge of your own destiny. I mean,
Yeah.
if you're controlling the narrative and not putting yourself out there to I feel like all of the other medias we're kind of in this swing, right? This shift of
Yeah.
communication where we're not going to regular outlets to deliver stuff. We're leaking things. Like it's the Taylor
Yep.
Swift moment of media. We're taking it into our own
Yeah,
hands and we're
for
doing it
sure.
our damn selves. Whether it's TikTok, whether it's Instagram, this is how we
Yeah.
communicate with everybody right now, right? If you
Yeah.
want to know the truth, you better come to me and I might as well give it because
Yeah.
it's going to be bent and
And I have
twisted and
access to
changed.
I don't need to cohort, like, a specific message to
Yeah,
send
I'll
out to
call
pull
my
people.
buddy who's got a lot of people on his podcast that were kind of like the same realm of people,
Yeah.
and I'll give you the story rather than have somebody
Yeah.
else make a big to-do out of it.
Well, his commentary felt pretty genuine. He said it's the hardest part about like the bittersweet aspect of when you do something you think is one way, and then all of a sudden you realize I wouldn't do that again because of the way that it affected actually the people that I care about the most in the world.
Right, it didn't matter to you, but then you see it fall out with the people that it does matter to,
But
so I get
it
it.
just goes to show you though, like I think he had no concept of what was said. I think he was so in his career, so focused on football and had such blinders, which was great. But he
Yeah,
probably had no idea and maybe sheltered himself from all the noise and all the crap that the media said about him. So he walked into that very likely not really aware. And who knows if
right.
his team like prepped him. But I feel like between his ego and how focused he was at his athletic abilities constantly, I don't know if he was fully prepared for the things that they would say. That
Well,
being said,
yeah.
extremely, extremely naive. to go in and think that, like, the only things that they were gonna talk about was, like, Deflategate and crypto. Like, you
Yeah.
had to know they were gonna talk about your ex-wife. They had to know they were gonna talk about your family, even if you went in and said, "Don't make jokes about your kids." And I'm sure a couple things were left on the table because, like, nobody mentioned how he kisses his kids on the mouth, right? That was, like, complete open for fodder, and nobody took it, which means there
Right.
were some ground rules at some capacity. He had already asked, "Leave my kids out of it." So, which means he wasn't prepared for the intricacies of how it would affect his family life in general. Like,
Yeah.
how did you not think that was gonna
Well,
happen?
but also to be fair, for the last 20 years, at the burgeoning of this now new media moment and how we talk to everybody, he wasn't in it. He's
Right.
busy doing other shit. He didn't have time to grow through social media to
Correct.
know what was going to be a problem. He's
Totally.
not had the time to even bother with it, to
Yeah.
know like how finicky it is and how 1 minute you're on and 1 minute you're off. And that was it. You're over.
Yeah. But Nikki Glaser, who was in the roast, who apparently had, like, who, by the way, I'm loving the moment she's having as a female comedian. She's getting
I
so much
know.
notoriety from this.
She's
She's
coming to
so
the
funny.
Melody tent, and on the secondary market was getting like $600 a ticket. I'm like, I am not spending $600 to go see Nikki Glazer at the Melody tent.
Totally.
However, I'm excited that she is there.
She's getting all of this
Yeah.
newfound fame, and I love the fact that she's not canceling podcasts that she already committed to and loves just because she's getting pulled to bigger programming. She's been on
Yep.
some smaller podcasts that I love recently. And when she came on, she was like, "No, I kept this date. I love this date. It just happened to be like 2 weeks after this. And I didn't think it was going to be a big deal. And now it's a big deal. But like, I wanted to be on your podcast and I'll deal with all that other shit later." So I love
Well,
that.
and also it's elevating the pods that she did commit to.
Yeah.
And that's just really, it's cool. Let's go
It's
along for
very
the
cool.
ride. I'm here. I'm here to elevate you too.
But she came out and said basically, like, Tom Brady knew exactly what he was doing when he signed up for it,
A
and
hundred
that,
percent.
maybe he didn't consider the backlash from his family or how it would affect them, but she also thinks that Tom Brady does not do anything without doing his research and knowing exactly what he's getting into. It's impossible to me that he didn't consider what could have happened because there's roast footage out there that you can watch and go, "Oh,
Right.
this is gonna be hard," the
Yeah.
comedian added. There's part of me thinks that Tom Brady, especially given his career and how much people love him, no one's ever said a bad thing about him in the past 30 years. So he doesn't know what anyone that if anyone's capable of going there, which I
Yeah.
think is she nailed it on the head.
Yep.
Like,
Exactly.
that's it.
Woefully unprepared, my friend. Do you have any content, Rex Miss?
The first 4 episodes of Bridgerton came out. I haven't seen them. I can't personally endorse them, but like, it's Bridgerton. It's gonna be good.
Yeah. All
That's it.
right. I'm like a whole season behind. I kind of left it for a little bit because I got bored of it. I'm
Well,
like, why'd you get the whole new cast and kind of threw me all?
the Queen Charlotte season is not really relevant to the story, so you can go back to
Okay.
that one later. You
Okay.
can do like 1, 2, and then go to this current season
Okay. Well, then I'll
if you
probably do
wanted.
that. I
Highly
have no time for
suggest.
content anything because I've been momming and trying to get out of the country.
Oh, yeah. When do you leave?
We're leaving June 9th. And
Okay.
I'm leaving like a brand new baby business. I'm leaving the Mashpee Farmers Market that I've just been building. By the way, dealing with the government, not my favorite thing. But I but I have secured like SNAP and EBT benefits and WIC so people can come and actually use their card at our market and eat
Cool.
well, which
We
is
love
like
that.
really exciting, doing some actual
Yeah,
wellness programming,
that's
which I never
awesome.
thought that I would be wading into this realm of life, but here I am nonetheless.
Very
And
cool.
yeah, so just building something new and then leaving it.
Well,
Like, I'm leaving my newborn baby on your doorstep. Take care of it for a few weeks. I'll be back.
it'll be great. It'll go fine. It's gonna
Change its
go
diapers
fine.
and feed it. You'll do it.
That's amazing.
Awesome. All right. So we're going to have a schedule shift.
Yes.
And the next couple of weeks, we're going to be moving to Tuesday, Thursday, just because we've got a lot going on. And 3 episodes is really just unmanageable as we're walking into the season,
And with you
given both of us.
traveling and I'm doing, it's just getting
Yeah. So we're going to do
chaotic.
our best to get at least 2 episodes out a week, Tuesday, Thursday
But I
now.
feel like 2 is more we're able to do 2. It's just hard to know which days we're gonna do 2.
Correct.
So now we're gonna try to do 2 on 2 different days and see if that helps.
We'll see. We're a work in progress. Thank you for supporting us. We really do appreciate you. Had a lot of
Much
looks at
appreciated.
a few of our recent episodes, so we really do love that you've been hanging out with us for
Yeah, my
quite
full
some time.
breakdown of Taylor Swift, which you had to like sucker yourself through is one of our
Hey, it
best
did really
episodes
well.
right now.
Get perky with us Tuesday and Thursday.
Find us on all the socials, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at The First Shot Morning Show.
Bye.
The First Shot Morning Show is produced by Lemonadio. When life gives you lemons, make radio. We encourage everyone to listen happier.com.